guys, welcome to my very first recorded Sims 4 speed build. Today I chose to recreate Barbie's dream house, and I was really excited since I grew up with Barbies like many of us did. And honestly, I do love the color pink. So with all of the buzz going on right now, I thought it'd be really fun to do this as a speed build. I chose Oasis Springs because I think it best embodied the world of Barbie with the desert and the palm trees, and Arid Ridge Lot had an amazing view of the mountains behind it. For the iconic pool, I was hoping when EA released the update for rounded walls, it would also include an option for curved pools. But unfortunately, that never happened. I know there are mods out there that can do that, but I wanted this build to be without any CC, so we'll just have to make do with it and its awkward angular shape. And speaking of awkward shapes, the full circle bar is more of a square shape because, again, the lack of circular options. This will probably be the theme of today's video, guys, so I apologize in advance. And I used regular countertops for this since, you guessed it, there are no rounded bars. Here I'm using platforms for the second and third story levels to match the look of the dream house. Okay, so I actually built the whole second floor first using the normal floor tool, then realized I had to go back and redo it because I'd forgotten to raise the platform before adding that extra bit that juts out above the first floor dining area, something I totally overlooked in the pre-build. To add to the saga of no curved objects, let's talk about staircases. We'd all hoped curved stairs would be added to the base game, right, to match the new walls, but sadly we still don't have them. There are modders out there who make working spiral staircases that are amazing, but like I said, no mods, at least for this build. I'll probably be doing a segment about my top 10 favorite mods in a future video, so look out for that. Here's the part where I had to redo the platform bit before adding the wall between Barbie's bathroom and her closet area. Also, I made sure to have my cheats on, like move objects and show hidden objects. If you're not familiar with those, I'll be sure to add them in the description below. They make building a million times better. So to recreate the epic pink slide which connects Barbie's bedroom to the bottom floor pool, I created a multi-tier staircase, which I know, it seems redundant since I'd made an inner staircase in the kitchen that connects to the second level. But I really wanted that true dream Barbie look, so that's why there are two staircases. EA, if you're taking notes, a functional modular slide that can be used outdoors and indoors would be absolutely amazing. Anyway, I added the glowing pink lit railings from Get Famous Pack to give that somewhat convincing illusion of a slide. I'm not sure if it was a fluke or if it was a user error on my part, but every time I make changes to the second or third floors, my pillars would mysteriously disappear. So yeah, as you will see, I had to replace those pillars on those levels multiple times. Usually for builds, I like to keep the front lawn smaller because designing lawns is honestly not my strong suit. I'm experimenting more with front lawn designs for better curb appeal in my builds, and I'm going through millions of Pinterest ideas. However, if you guys have any advice with making gardens and lawns more aesthetically pleasing, leave a comment below. I'd really appreciate it. Luckily, this one was pretty simple and straightforward. Maybe a little too simple, especially with how much space there was. Generally, front lawns this big feel like a waste of gameplay space that could be used for more activities, but I wanted to keep true to the film set decoration. As for Barbie's car, I was going to choose the red Miata that I downloaded from the gallery, and it can also be found in the debug cheats, but ultimately decided on the silver Ferrari, or Lamborghini, whatever it's supposed to be. I think it just looks sleeker, and if I were Barbie, that is definitely the car I would choose. Creating the fireplace was a little frustrating, and I think we should have more non-traditional fireplace options. I really wanted to replicate the mid-century modern where the fireplace is open on three sides so you can see into the other room. But to kind of mimic this look, I built the full walls and I used the small silver windows so you could see right through it. And I placed a snowy escape fireplace inside of it and surrounded it by a bunch of candles for some ambiance. I was debating between a couple of wallpapers for the fireplace, but I did love the look of the pink Get Ruined stone wallpaper from Get Together. It was just so vibrant, and I think it actually matched the movie vibes very well. I was really happy with how the lattice wall for the dining room turned out. There are a few other options for room dividers that I experimented with in the pre-build, but after seeing this one and how it looked, I thought this was perfect. It just takes a little more patience and time to stack and line them up evenly. Just use the Move Objects cheat and it'll work out just fine. Checking out my progress so far, and behold, rounded couches for the win. I think in this case, having a color wheel for all objects would be awesome, because this wasn't the exact pink I was looking for, but it worked. I'm really hoping they implement that in a later update, the color wheel. I think it would solve all of our non-matchy color issues. But actually, they might just wait until the Sims 5 release, so we might be out of luck. I use the same countertops that you see in the bar area and the bathroom for the kitchen. This was actually my least favorite room to build, which is a shame because I normally love to design and build out kitchens. So it's actually one of my favorite rooms because, like in real life and in the Sims gameplay, Sims are constantly cooking or eating or making coffee, talking, whatever it is. They're always in there, and it's one of the main hubs of activity, so I like to make sure it's designed well because I'm be spending a lot of time in there. But this one just felt a little too sparse. And then again, Barbie only eats and drinks invisible food, so I guess it makes sense why there's not much put into it. I took a break from editing this video to check out other YouTube Simmers builds to see their versions of the Barbie dream house, and honestly, there's this one girl that improved the kitchen immensely. I might actually go back and add some things and make some changes to my kitchen for my own gameplay because I don't want my sim walking in the kitchen and having a negative moodlet and suddenly crying for no reason because of the uninspiring decor. But for the purpose of this video, I'll stick with the original set decoration design. There are actually quite a few YouTubers that have done incredible builds of the Barbie house, and it was really fun going through all the different and similar designs. Not surprisingly, Barbie is super popular right now, as we all know, and I guess we were all inspired after watching the movie. If you haven't already, you should definitely check out the other Barbie speed builds on YouTube. They're amazing. One thing that is kind of frustrating about building in The Sims is the lack of cohesive colors. I know I'm not the only one who has mentioned this as well. When I narrowed my search to only pink items, it's like every pack decides to use a different shade of pink. So it's really hard to style rooms with multiple packs when you're sticking with a colored theme. And as a former graphic designer, that drives me wild. I know it's such a tiny annoyance, not worth crying about. But in this case, an entirely pink Barbie house, minus the outdoor furniture, of course, it was especially challenging to not make a hot mess out of this build. I really hope some talented modder out there feels the same way and creates a Barbie Dreamhouse CC pack. I will support you. I'm so down. I'll sign up for your Patreon right now, tomorrow. Not even kidding. Just let me know. I'm there. Next to Barbie's closet is this little makeup section with rounded mirrors. Of course, I couldn't do the round mirrors. We all know why. That, for some reason, also had a sink. I don't know why or how, but yes, there's a sink there, even though she could just walk her little Barbie legs around the corner and use the sink in the bathroom. And also, speaking of that, the bathroom being on the other side of the wall and not next to the shower doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But okay, yeah, I will roll with it. It's Barbie's world, and we're just simming in it. And obviously, Barbie doesn't need a toilet. But our Sims do, so I added one for their sake. I also wasn't sure if I should go with the hot tub or a regular bath. Ultimately, I decided the hot tub was the best fit for the space, and it looked rounded, so kind of worked. You'll be able to change it out to whatever you like if you download it from the gallery, and if you decide to make any changes. It took me forever to find the right accessories for this build. And I put in a lot of substitutes at first until I could remember what the items were that I wanted to use. Eventually, yes, I did find them and replace the current placeholders with ones that match the scenes in the movie a little bit better. I feel like most of the time, building consists of constant searching and forgetting what object you're looking for. Me personally, I'm terrible at remembering item names, especially when you add the hidden objects and live edit object cheats. And it took me so long that I had to edit parts of the video out that involved endless scrolling. So for the shower, I tried my best to mimic the round halfway wall in the pre-build, but every time I added the circular platform, the walls were angular instead of curved, even when I added a fence to it. So I nixed that idea and I chose a semi-sheer room divider for the shower wall. I have no idea why the rounded tool works on the lawns or exterior of the house and doesn't work on a platform. I'm sure there's a reason, I just don't know what it is. It could have been a bug in the game or something, but I'm stubborn, so I'll probably go back and try it again on another build to see if it's actually possible. So I've also been wondering, how many of you guys actually download or buy mods, or do you just stick with the EA branded packs? I've always wanted to know this. Myself, it took me a little while to get used to the idea of CC, and I also didn't trust downloading things off the internet, but as I got to learn more about the modders and everything that they did, I did start to download some CC, and I was just wondering how many of you guys actually use them, or do you just, stick with the actual EA brands? So let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I added another similar wall to the bedroom to match the dining room. And to correct what I said before, they're actually called breeze blocks, not lattice walls. So lattice are the crisscrosses that you find in like the fences around a garden, and the breeze blocks are mainly made of cement, I believe, and those are walls with the intricate patterns. They're actually very common in mid-century modern houses, and I've seen them a ton in the Palm Spring houses when I go to visit. I think they're really unique and it definitely matched the vibes of the house. Looking back at this video, I should have actually raised the first row of breeze blocks a little bit higher. They're kind of sitting below the platform line and it looks a little bit odd. It would be a really cool feature if these grids and other similar wall decor could automatically link together and stack up like the closets do in the Dream Home Decorator pack. So we could create cool walls or cool art walls like this one easily without using any cheats. I went through the build to do some last minute details and changes and to re-add the columns that seemed to disappear for no reason at all. There wasn't much else to add, a couple accessories for the dining room and kitchen, and I kept changing out the floor tiles because I couldn't find one that fit exactly what I was looking for. I think I wanted like a basic linoleum style plastic looking bright pink floor, which we don't have. The closest one is the glowing pink tiles, which are a little bit too insanely bright and they were overwhelming for the whole build. So I just went for the more modest light pink. And don't forget, added the small saucer lights for every room, just so there's plenty of light at night. Added a couple bushes and the palm tree, of course, for the very minimal front lawn decor. I immediately had second guesses about the chandelier in the bathtub. I used that as a placeholder. So when I went back around to recheck all the details, I removed that chandelier and I replaced it with the cloud lights. I modified their sizes so it looked more like floating bubbles, similar to the movie, and I'm really happy with how it turned out. The kitchen area, it needed a little updating after referencing some of the photos from the film and realizing the dresser next to the kitchen had an open wall. I may add a low fence in a white color to border the first level walls of the house, just so I can force my Sims to use the front door entrances, but that's just for gameplay. I'll obviously just add it for my house. I'm going to keep this version as is for the gallery. I also eventually switched out the chair in her dressing room because I decided I didn't want it to be a dead zone that had no use other than being visually cute. So I swapped out that little shell chair with the makeup chair, so at least there could be some interaction if you choose there to be. I extended the third floor too, and re-adding those pesky pillars once again, hopefully for the last time. Anyway, extended that level because I remembered that there was a staircase that went from the second to the third floor. I don't mean the fake slide staircase. So I added another staircase. So I added that too. Originally, I was going to make the pool just a dance floor with the glowing blue tiles to make it look like that fake plastic pool in the movie. But I decided it would be more fun, at least for me, maybe you guys disagree, to have an actual pool that your sim can swim in. Otherwise, they would never use that area for anything other than just to walk across it to get to the staircase. Added a couple more accessories and elevated the platforms for the fireplace because I wanted to fill up those spaces so that even though you have walls partially down during gameplay, the platforms would still act as a sort of barrier or fake wall. I do apologize. The breeze blocks wall in the bedroom kind of extends past the ceiling, but I'll definitely fix that height before uploading this house to the gallery. Overall, I'm really happy with how this turned out. The house will be available in the Sims 4 gallery by the time this video is up. It will be under Barbie Dream House by The Good Sim. Like and subscribe if you like this video. I will do builds every single week. Comment below if there's something you'd like to see, and I hope you enjoyed this build. Thanks for watching!